What I have is more than start. I feel peace inside my heart. Peace in my heart, like a steady flame. What I have is more than start. I feel peace inside my heart. Peace in my heart, like a steady flame.
Right, so without wasting much of our time, so we invite our guest speaker for today. We just walked in the person of Rtn Osi Christopher Imomoh. Is a lieutenant governor. Maybe you will tell us about that today. Yeah, because
Fellow Rotarians, friends, and guests. So, I want to talk about youth empowerment and peace. All right. I want to start by who is a youth. It's good to know who is a youth before you know what they do about peace. I think it was in 2015 that the United Nations Security Council, by resolution 2025, I think 2025, yes, defined what who a youth is. And then in doing that, they also gave countries the leeway to go back and modify that definition, improve on it, and see what they can do about it. Now, Nigeria didn't do anything until 2019. When Obasanjo was in power, they now had their own youth policy. It was still not rich enough, and it's only now that President Tinubu came to power that he now passed the buck again over to the states to bring in culture and all that to ensure that the thing is more reflective on down to the grassroots. So that's where we are now. And in that United Nations resolution, they defined the parameters, the age brackets for youth. They said it's between the age of 18 and 29. No, sorry, between 18 and 35. That was what United Nations said. So that after 25, you're no longer a youth, you are now an adult. Me, I had a problem with that definition. I said sometimes you have 35-year-olds who are grandfathers. I have a friend who at 18 already had a child, a girl, and that girl, by the time she was 17 months, could have had a baby. So you are calling me 35-year-old man, grandfather, you're calling him a youth. So maybe we should call him a beautiful grandfather. Beautiful grandfather. So that's the definition and the parameters for definitions. So now, so what is peace? Rotary has its own definition for what peace is. Rotary, and that's where I'm going to take it from. Rotary's definition. And Rotary defines peace not merely as an absence of conflict, but as a dynamic, positive, and proactive state. All right? So, even though we're not fighting, we also don't have peace. If you have youths who don't have jobs, if you have youths who are engaged in terrorism and all that, so it's not only when we fight that we have conflict. Even in peacetime, we can also have a non-peace situation. So now I want to also define, if you combine the two of them now, the youth and the peace. So what is youth empowerment? I'm saying that youth empowerment is a process that provides young people with the authority, skills, confidence, and opportunities to take control of their lives, make informed decisions, and create positive change in their communities. It transforms youth into self-reliant, productive citizens by fostering confidence, competence, and connection. So I think this is quite instructive that what empowerment should do is to turn these youths into a productive person. All right? That's what empowerment should do. If empowerment doesn't do that, then definitely it's not empowerment, it's something else. So there are some core factors. So what are those core elements? and components that make for. Sorry? How are you? Can you hear me?
Yes.
So I have a voice that is meant for the bedroom only. I think my wife can confirm that. So it's meant for the bedroom. So when I come back, I used to talk. I try to use what they call the voice element or mic to boost it, but I'm trying. If you can hear me, then it's very good
Yes.
for us. At least I'm
It's
trying.
a small meeting.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, so what are those core elements and components of empowerment? Now, the first thing I have there is education and skill development. And I'm saying that access to education, technical training, and life skills, critical thinking, communications to enable self-reliance. Talking about education and training, let me tell you a story of my third daughter. She schooled in the University of Birmingham, and they gave them a project, the whole class a project, and they were given in different groups. This story is very interesting because at that when it happened, me and my wife were at that time visiting the children in Birmingham. She said they give them an assignment to build, because she read mechanical engineering, to build a movable vehicle, you know. And in that group, in her own group, coincidentally, the 7 of them were all Nigerians. They now have other groups, you know, in a class of about 40 or so. So, D-Day now to come and make your presentation. So each group made their own presentation. When it was time for my daughter's team to make their presentation, as soon as they entered the class, everybody burst out laughing. Everybody in the class, even the lecturer, burst out laughing because what they presented was something that was more like a caricature. I'm not even sure it was doing movie. So that tells you that, and these children that are, I'm not saying out of ego now, these children that did this thing in Birmingham, they are children that left Nigeria from very good schools. I can confirm that because my daughter also left from a very good school. So you have children, not from so for them to go there and perform this kind of way means that they are stubborn in Nigeria, right? So when they were not empowering our children enough through the education, skills, and training, all right? So that's one. Then the other thing I want to talk about is psychological empowerment. Developing a positive sense of self-control and confidence and self-awareness. All right? These children need to be psychologically empowered because if they don't do that, they're going to be having issues about their empowerment status. Then economic opportunity. Again, from all this, I'm going to be telling you different stories. Now, we were at Ryla when Godin Naji was DG. I can't remember the year now, but we were there, my wife and I. So we were there when these young adults, now displayed their wares, what they could do. And we took an interest in one particular young man, because the shoes he made were so nice. I would say, this guy can do better from this trade. So from nowhere, my wife and I said, okay, we're going to give this guy 100,000 naira from Rela there. So we gave the guy 100,000 naira. Do you know that this guy has become a big shoemaker in Abuja? Big shoemaker in Abuja. And he hasn't forgotten that particular incident of the 100,000. Now, he's not only doing well in the shoemaking industry, he is now an instructor or a facilitator in Rela activities. So that's to tell you what can happen if youths are empowered with capital enough for them to go into business. Now, we can also empower these youths by way of mentorship and guidance, providing support from experienced individuals to offer real-world insights and encouragement. Now, this is an aspect where I see what this is they call CWES, very important, where children from special technical colleges will now leave their schools and spend 1 year doing a CWES program. Because in doing that, they are being mentored. And I want to believe that it can get better, where they're not only taking these children to organizations, they're taking them and giving them to individuals in those organizations and say, this man, take care of this boy this 1 year, mentor him. But what we do now is they send children to say Sheraton Hotel. And sometimes you don't even go to work. But if they pick them and say, look, the chief accountant was sending you this boy, work with you, mentor him. It's a better thing to empower this guy. So when the guy comes out, you are seeing the value of hardship, you are seeing the value of entrepreneurship, and you could do better. Then I have also civic and community engagement. This is very key. Opportunities for leadership. Now, if you go to certain advanced countries, you find youths are now entering into politics. You find even in America now, in the House of Rep, people who are in their early 20s and no, late 20s and early 30s are now going to the House of Rep. Now, there's a popular girl now from New York, what's her name now, who's causing so much news now in the whole world. That girl is about 30, all right? So they are now in the position of leadership to make sure that their interests are taken care of. So we have empowered those people by going to politics and ensuring that their interests are taken care of. Then cultural and social inclusion. This one is to be very, very important. And what do I mean by this? It says ensuring that young people can participate in and shape their social and cultural environment. Cultural environment, social environment. There's something that doing a youth call, which I think is a very good thing. When children are sent to different parts of the country, they get involved in the social, cultural, and social events. And in doing so, sometimes they get married to people from that place. That's what I call social integration. And when this is happening, it has been proven biologically that the farther away you marry, the stronger the children are. And the other reverse is that when you marry your cousin, the children are a lot weaker. So people are now encouraged to make sure that do the youth call. I'm married my wife from youth call although we have been cutting before them for about 10 years before we got married. So get this, empower these children to go and learn what other people are doing, who other people are. Get them involved in places like the North and all that. Let me tell you a story. It's not a very good story, but I'll tell you a story. There's a particular leader now in Nigeria who's aspiring to become a president of the country. And my friend, one retired general, told me that, you see, this man, he wants to become a general in the Nigerian army. He said, say if I tell you this man's story, you not buy it for a cup. I said, what do you mean? He said, when they were in school, in ABU, this was the guy who was leading other youths from the northern sub-region and telling them to go back to their forests. You get my point now, to go back to their forest. And now, this is the same guy now who is now fighting to become president of Nigeria. So if we start from the very, very beginning and encourage and empower our youths to get to mix together at a very young age, then people like this cannot emerge. People like this cannot be telling other people to go back to their forests. All right? So these are the things, the core elements I think are very important for empowerment. Now, so what do the youths need from us, either as individuals or as government? I have listed also about 4 or 5 points which I would like to talk about. What they require from us is a meaningful participation in decision making. All right? Even if they have family, you find that the children are now becoming emboldened. They want to get involved in what happens in the family. So we should allow them, all right, participate meaningfully in decision making. So youth want to sit at the table in peace processes, conflict resolution, and political decisions, moving away from being excluded from discussions shaping their future. Because what they are talking about is their own future, not our future. Because we, as far as we are concerned, we are already at the end game. But these children are looking at the future. So we must get them involved in what happens in their future. Economic empowerment and job creation. Now, I was doing this preparation. I found out that the most vulnerable group among all age groups is the age bracket between 20 and 35. They are the people who suffer unemployment. They are the people who, when Boko Haram wants to recruit terrorists into their ranks, they are the people they go to. They are the people who, if thugs, when they want to go and fight political opponents, they are the same group of people they will go to. So these are the most vulnerable group between the ages of 20 and 30, who they would now call the millennials. So they are the most vulnerable. So we have to empower them and ensure that by giving them job creation, by creating jobs for them, they're not tempted to go into this kind of activities. Now, protection from violence. This same group also are also vulnerable to violence. Kidnapping cases of, again, like I said before, getting them involved in terrorist activities. So what they require from us is to protect them from this kind of violence. Governments are expected to ensure the safety of young civilians, particularly in conflict zones, and protect them from harassment, exploitation, and in some contents, forced, like I just mentioned earlier on. Then, of course, I talked about education earlier on. These youths require us to give them education that is meaningful. All right? They require us to give them education that when they leave our universities, they can, on their own, get employed, do something on their own. So that's what they require. They don't want us to be giving them education where, when they come out, they'll be looking for all kinds of jobs. In the last 2 days now, a young chap from my area, who is my cousin, has been calling me, asking me to send him for the 5,000 naira. I said, what do you want that money for? I get this kind of request most times, but this one was particular. I said, what do you want this money for? He said he wants to pay for driving school because he wants to start driving Uber. So if we have education for these children where they can come out on their own and stand on their own, then it will help a lot. Nothing stops us changing our curricula by teaching these children tailoring. Yes, I have a daughter who has an MSc in what's that? Software engineering. She came out. I gave her a job in INEC. Before you know it, she ran away from the job. She didn't even tell me she was running away from the job.
She went for election once.
Yeah, she went once with what they do, I don't know, voters registration. And she came back and said, Daddy, this is not for me. You know what she did? On her own, she went and joined a woman, a tailor, who taught her how to sew. All right? Now, I can't believe this or not. Now, that my daughter is big. Very, I can say she's really bigger than me now. From tailor, she doesn't take job anyhow now. All she does now is wedding dresses, and she has become popular. So if she had learned this in school, the rolling of first grade to work in INEC and all that would be there. She will just come out, get somebody who will give her some money, start a tailoring business and all that. So we can empower our youth by making sure that the curriculum of our programs in schools and universities are geared towards where they can help themselves. Now, this is very important. Youth-led peace initiatives. The youth are asking us to give them the opportunity to also lead in getting the peace, getting peace. And they can do these things. They can. But we don't allow them. All we do is to force them to apply what we want to do. So, gentlemen, and sorry, my fellow vegetarians, I'm concluding by saying these expectations from our youth highlight that youth view sustainable peace as inseparable from economic stability and political inclusion. And that's one sure way of us getting peace, not only through absence of conflict. Thank you very much.
Join the Rotary. Want to be a good sport. Join the Rotary. Join the Rotary. Join the Rotary. Join the Rotary and be a good speaker. Yeah, thank you very much for the presentation. Yeah, it's very short and loaded. As we have it, it look like it's something that has actually been preparing for. When he asked for the topic, I said, okay, choose from these four. And even it's well delivered with examples, reality that actually drive the point home. So thank you very much, sir, for coming. And sorry for the loss. Yeah. So I don't know if there's one or
No,
two
I'll let
things that
people
we
to
can.
contribute.
Okay. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, sir. My president and our guest speaker, I'm Mr. Adiwe. Welcome, sir. Sir, I really love the way you see. Like most of our problems are used nowadays. First of all, it's our political leadership. During the time of military, youth will be aware of power. Youth will be aware of power. Youth will be aware of power. Because I remember we have so many technical colleges. So many things. Even I live in this before I live in the street. The street is one of these area in Nigeria have four federal government schools. In front of Lagos, they have a lot of federal technical college, federal college of education technical. Edo Street, Abuja. In front of Lagos, they have a federal college of education technical, federal technical college. I live in Abuja, Edo Street. That's my father's street. That's there. That time, people don't bother say that I want to go to Congress, I go to Ilaga, I go to no. We have them. We have federal technical educations. We have technical colleges. If you don't have much in WAEC result, you can still go to technical college and this thing. And I have a lot of my friends who went to technical college who are doing a lot of plumbing, electrical work, interior decoration, who are big bucks now. But when our political gigolos come in, they are after money, investment. Even the money they even use, they don't empower the youth. They empower the youth for their own political gains. Drug, honestly. I remember when in 1989, 2 months before I left DIA to NNPC, because I resigned for DIA. But I can't tolerate most of these things. Yes. Because that time, my department were an exponent, and that time, anybody caught with drugs, Nigeria will ask them to be there for abroad. When I come from abroad, no matter go and escorted from the airport. And when they give them a fair bit. So they know that when they enter the airport, inside the plane, they know that these are the criminals. So when they go down here, I found out that when they're taking it to the prison, one person was me, I was Yoruba. I thought I was you because I looked at you. Do my why they want to go out from prisoner to view and go for chance. I want to chicken it, but I want to do my head. I don't think. I just secondly, a week I went to the prison. Say, I will have quick. So when they are bringing them, we then go and arrest them. I do that. So when anytime you bring them back, I purchase their leg. So now they reported me to Akilu. Akilu was the chief of defense after I did the Akilu was killed. That's one boy who is the stage officer. He normally punch on the end of the leg. He said that is good. I love that person. So that they will not run away in the prison, you know. What after I found out that most of the problems started from when the politician take over. Because that time we want to go to banks. They want to work with their own and go to chemical industry. The industry are working, everything is going fine. The youth are empowered. To me, even I was in secondary school, they come and say they put us from secondary school. I finished my YA June 18, 1980. I started work June 19, 1980, governor office. They haven't begging me to go there. I told them, look on is that. My father did not know when I entered ND and run to ND before. He thought I was in that. He like send me back. I was 15 plus because I was very good and tall. My father said, I can one have 001. You see, can you see? Look at his age now. 15 plus. What is he going to do? He just be fit fighting and be beating middle class. So what I said that I'm not one of these things I've said. You just you see nowadays, children after graduating, afterwards, children doing technical. My only regret is that I do not do any technical work. Doing technical work, I do disability and all the kind of intelligent. That's my own practical work I learn, which are very useful to Nigeria. But other people, you see now, for example, a real admiral who is just 40, 49, 45, you retiring. Those people who are what myself is 34, 39 down here retired. They're still young. When I was self NBC, I told someone I was sick, they don't believe they even go and put my fight. That is why I'm going to say that you put on your age before you want to start like so that you can go and start eating pension. Because I started school at very early age, I have a lot of experience. I have a lot of experience, all discipline. I have my friends. Oh, it's only me that are going to be yes, Dr. Ejani. They have their own company now, starting people that. But now, our Gen Z, because my father is very rich, they don't know how to work. He happened to me personally. My father had 4 assistants because he wanted to renovate them. Not yet the developers. That his family as well. It's not individual. Nobody can put his name down. My siblings now tell them that, all right, let's leave one room in your house in case we are going there. We have a place to stay that we know that we have something there. If there's no house in there, well, if you are going to check your father's house, where will you stay? If it's rain or not. You know, all my brothers sleeping. Because we have to live between it's only my senior brother who is in Bosina among family now. It's left, my mother's side. We had that see left. No, we are going to share the money. My brother called me and tell me, I say, fine. That's what happened because they all after our father property. They are not even working. They don't say, I don't say you cannot work again. They say it's the money is out. I not told you, I not called all the paper. Don't listen to anybody, listen to my senior brother. Block off other people, block the other people numbers. Now for you to they said all the old approval everything is old. I don't think I'm going to do that about 5 or 6 minutes. You see, do that not very depend on money. So nowadays empowerment is when the best want to do. Tell your daughter take it in time. All these boys, all these people have nowadays, they are all taking off when you how do I make my billions? Is it too hard to my billions? You want to be a politician, you want to carry drugs, you want to graduate. These are the things now. Who caused it there? Our during the unity. Have you ever seen anybody during unity that you want to go and do anything in the bush and start doing this thing? You don't take them. Now someone kills someone who is a kidnapper, kills someone, you're not taking to court. You're not taking, you don't need to anybody that kill, don't do immediately after 1 2 days, just finish that person up. You don't be stopping. That's the problem having in this country. The problem is because the government are not helping other people. They are not empowered. You go to where the technical college is now.
Sure.
So now they say that it's free. People start taking the you go there, you won't see any improvement. Most of the time, if I plant my house, if I go and play ball, go and take over, I just to have a take from my father work. I walk there. I love the way you see them when they are doing work. Some of them they take job outside. They show us. They give the students to be doing that. They take job from outside and students will be doing it for them and they get paid. That time, the environment was everywhere.
So politicians actually spoiled
everything.
for us.
This thing that you did is bring in a lot of things. If this thing can be taken to government for them to settle the interaction like that, let empower do that from primary school, from secondary school. Like my that's why I had my son come. They are going to middle school. Luckily, it was not to 13. Before you can go to any middle school, but 13, it was just 10. They just said no. The father said no. Now, after spending 3 years in federal government college, I'm not taking to private school. So that you will learn. Now in that school now, as from SS2, use more beings in the schools that you learn a lot of things. Think you can be on yourself. You can stand your own. You can stand on your
I
own.
think the government is changing the curriculum too now. They
That
are
is it.
putting
But
some
now,
technical.
you do your sister.
Yeah.
Our politicians are
Okay, you want to talk?
everybody don't have time money. Everybody don't have time money. Thank you, sir.
All right, so thank you so much, sir.
Yeah. I appreciate your comment too. You see, when I talked about cultural and social empowerment, sorry we didn't have much time to go deep into this matter. I didn't ask you how much time I had for this. The cultural side also involves the way we bring up our children. Is it clear? Also involves the way we bring up our children. Um, my daughter came home once, and then she came with what was it called? Cutlery or something? Cutlery or whatever. The mother took her back to the school with the cutlery.
Yes.
Took her back. I said, "Who gave you this cutlery? When you were going to school, I didn't give you this. So who gave you this? Who gave you this cutlery?" And of course, when a child experiences that, she will never put her
Never
eye
try
on
that
somebody's
again.
property. All right. But what we have now is parents are not doing. It's also part of the culture. Are not playing their roles as parents. All of us are pursuing this money, and that is affecting our home. I did something like this recently in another club about home and the peace, and I told them, I said, the peace must start from the home. It's a micro against the macro. If you don't have peace from the home, then there's no way we're going to have peace outside the home, because it's the macro then gives rise to the macro. So, thank you very much, sir. I appreciate your contribution.
When I was coming primary school, one important man you had foot leg. You will check from like Bariga to 7 meters to Sabloja. Now one of our friends to have a party by Papa says, those have super they see those are now off my when my daughter come, I now off my own and give you. Do you know that where you should be the parents has where they get this shoe from? You say what time you that give you working. They not check from the abroad by Bariga to abroad. Don't you and they start checking from 2 o'clock and I don't know what I play for my father just came back. He said, yes, I want to tell you, sir. What happened? Our son came back from school. He said, tag your phone in the butter. I only the money, no your phone. That called me. I said, yes, sir. So I see in leg. See leg. Doesn't we are sure and we are going to party tomorrow. Yeah. Mother took this boy today from Bariga and take back to our house. And as my father said, I gave to him. That's how it should be. But that's no problem. I go and I give to him back. Again, now say you can't drop him. I say, that's all right. Just tomorrow I will take that with you. No, if another parent, they will not look at it. Yeah. But that's my father asked, I wasn't going to play for you. I came back. As soon as I would say, my parents will say, one will give at school. That brought, I remember in 1974 when I was going to my sis, first time for my sis in my primary school. But that should be. That's what it should be. But nowadays,
wow. Thank you. Thank you so much.
And there's something I want to mention before we close this. Because we're in the education sector, my wife and I, we own a school, and we see a lot.
So that's nice.
A lot. I'm telling you, a lot. And you can tell children from the way, you can tell their background from the way they behave. You can tell who their parents are from the way they behave. Now, for no just cause, the federal government removed history from our curriculum.
History, honestly.
History from our curriculum. I want you to compare.
I think they have returned it again.
Yes, not history. I want to compare this to what happens in South Africa. You see, if you see the average South African white, they are so fanatical about their country. Yes. They are so fanatical about the black man being inferior to him. Do you know what they do? At a particular age, they have a museum. I read this somewhere. They have a museum. These children are taken to the museum where they are I want to use the word now. Yeah,
IQ.
whatever. Telling them that they own South Africa. Don't tell them that they came as visitors. You understand? They tell the children that they own South Africa, and that the blacks are the people who are visiting, and they're supposed to be their supporters. And these children, these people, they grew up with this kind of mentality into adulthood, into whatever. Because at that age, the child has picked it and formed part of the psyche. It uses it to work. Yes, nobody is telling our children how Awolowo, how Zik, how Sodana fought for Nigeria. So how can our children love their country compared to South Africa, where they can actually die for their country based on what the country has done to empower their mental state. So thank you very much. I don't know if we have covered this in. It can be more. Like I tell you, this can be more, but because of the time,
because of the time.
It's very, very lovely thing because of losing our thinker beauty and empowerment.
So thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much. Really appreciate you for that. Okay. So time is fast spent. So we just do essay. Let's do.
Who's the essay?
We do our essay.
Okay.
Before I go, I want to praise. I want to talk about
Fiji treasure.
treasure. You know, I was the agent of this law.
Yes,
I
she
was
said
the
so. Yeah, she said so.
This law. Were you here at that time?
You know, I wasn't.
Who was here at that time? See now, you're the only person. Oh, you came one time. You saw the fights at that time, like the whole commotion. She has remained steadfast, and I think this is what we expect to see from Rotarians. This kind of commitment that she has for which. So, yeah. So the battle was tough. You came to the house, have you? To solve some of the battle.
Interesting.
So it's good to see you here now. And like I said, Rotarians should try and emulate.
It's because of her that I started from the moment of that because she really stand up for the club from the beginning. She invited me to this school when I came up with her. Because of her, she really stand up. She's one of the person that really stand up for this cause. 100%.
She is.
Uncle Leki to support her. Also to support her. Who are the stubbornness of the club. Hey, you have to
Not to talk of my brother,
Fiji Leke.
who when I was president of Abuja Metro, he was one who wrote the Rotary song for my club, and encouraged me so much. Thank you very much.
That's good.
So I'm so glad to see everybody here. Thank you so much.
Thank
so
you.
For your
Thank
essay,
you.
we're going to give the club 50,000 naira.
Thank you so much. All right.
essay.
Our essay.
I'll snap this. And if you can please allow us to go and face our.
Okay, please. Yeah, permitted. Better.
Madam, thank you for coming with us. He's been able to show that he's an empowerment daddy. And if you have not accepted him and his empowerment, he wouldn't have been here with you. So thank you very much for accepting him.
Okay.